Hey everyone, first and foremost, I want to just send positive vibes and energy your way to anyone who is tuning in with me. This pandemic has had me thinking, and it has had me in my thoughts lately, where I actually came to a aha moment. I realized just through the interactions through my friends, my family, and even my social media that there is a common denominator that we're all enduring, and it's grief. Before you freak out and say, I don't have grief, I'm not grieving, hear me out. I want you to tune in with me and also tune in with yourself. So let me define to you what grief is. Grief is the conflicting feelings caused by the end of or change in a familiar pattern of behavior. Simple definition. That's not enough. Let me give you some examples of what grief is. Think about loss of a job. There are many people who are now unemployed due to this pandemic. Loss of a loved one, loss of a friend, loss of a routine. Think about how before this pandemic, you were able to just go out. You were able to go to your favorite restaurant, have your happy hours, hang with your friends in big crowds and everything. And now you're not able to. You're not able to do as you please. Understand that is a loss as well. Some are also experiencing loss of independence. And that can mean many things. Some people might be in homes, and even kids, think of that. Abusive homes. But it was an outlet outside, and now you're kind of forced to be in this environment. That's a loss. So today, I just wanted to briefly discuss with you all the 5 stages of grief by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. And I just want to throw out a few disclaimers. So I am going to say first stage, second stage, third stage, fourth stage, fifth stage. But understand that there is truly no chronological order. In fact, one day you could feel in denial, and then the next you reach acceptance. And then the next day you're bargaining. So there's no chronological order. Understand that everyone processes things differently, and we all endure things differently. So we might be on one stage for a few days, and then next thing you know, you jump to another stage. So it could just go back and forth. Everything is a process. So let's dive right into it. The first stage is denial. You notice that shockness, that confusion, or even that numb feeling, that is a part of denial. And actually, some would say that it is a way that people cope. It kind of helps you survive in a sense, because you really don't have to endure the reality of things. It's easier sometimes to be in denial. So the second stage is anger. You're frustrated. You have these unsettling feelings. You just wonder why. And you also have this anxiety that is riled up. And guess what? Anger is okay. I know we've been taught that anger is horrible. It is okay. And it's best to let it out instead of hold it all in. Because the more you let it out, the more it is released, and the better it will help you heal. So the third stage is bargaining. Bargaining is where you're at that point of trying to figure out the meaning of things. You're struggling with figuring out what is going on. And sometimes we have those what if statements. What if I did this? What if I did that? Or if only. It's that bargaining, going back and forth. You're trying to connect the dots to something. And oftentimes with the bargaining stage, it does go into the fourth stage, which is depression. And I know when you hear depression, some people automatically think crazy, mental illness. Guess what? It's normal. Depression is okay for all of us because guess what? We have endured it one way or the other. It only becomes a mental illness when you become stagnant of it. Okay? But we're not going to go too deep into clinical depression or anything, or chronic depression. But in this case of the depression, that's where you're super overwhelmed, all this sadness, and you have that flight mentality. You just feel helpless. Like, I want this pain to go away. Just go away. And the fifth stage is acceptance. Ding. Accepting this new reality. You're learning to live without the person or thing. Now, let's not confuse that with forgetting the person. If you've had a deep connection with something or someone, it's not going to leave just like that. It's not going to leave at all. It's probably deeply ingrained in your heart. And it's there with you. However, you're able to still live without them physically being here. You're able to build or create a new routine that doesn't have that person in the picture. I hope that makes sense to you. So acceptance is more so you're coming to terms of what's going on. Like, okay, this person isn't with me anymore, and I'm ready to move on with my life. I'm ready to exist again. Not exist, you're ready to live again. We don't want to just exist anymore. You're ready to live again. So let me go back to these stages. So we have denial, we have anger, we have bargaining, we have depression, and we have acceptance. Before I leave you today, I just wanted to throw out a few things on how we could possibly cope with some of the grief that we're enduring. Do the things that you're able to do and have control over. Some things we don't have control over. So there's no need to really put too much time and energy into something that you don't have control over. It would only just drive you deeper and deeper into a hole. It's easier said than done, and it's possible. You can also journal. Release those feelings through writing. It feels good. Release those feelings through writing. Or connect with others that are still here with you, that you're connected to. Connect with them. Continue to build those relationships. Exercise. Get an exercise regimen going on. Anything to make you feel good. Exercise actually makes you feel pretty good. It might kick your butt a little bit, but it does in the end make you feel good. You're like, oh, I did it. My body is feeling good. Breathe. Practice breathing. Sometimes when our hearts get the racing and the anxiety starts to rile up, we forget to breathe sometimes. That breathing is not consistent. Just give yourself a chance to breathe. So I just wanted to leave you all with this last message, just letting you know that we will all be okay. It will be a process. And we will get through it. I hope that this has helped someone. If you have any other questions or want me to discuss any other topics, just let me know.